She said, I need space, not a divorce, then moved in with another man. So I canceled her card, packed her bag, and told her, freedom comes with its own bills. I'm 34. I've always been the kind of guy who prefers calm over chaos. Melissa and I had been married for 4 years, and while it wasn't some whirlwind romance, it felt solid, grounded. But over the last 6 months, something started to shift. It wasn't dramatic at first, just subtle things. Her phone was always face down. She started coming home later, going out more often with her girls, and brushing off conversations that used to matter to us. I tried to be understanding. I gave her space, figuring maybe she was going through something and didn't know how to talk about it yet. One night, I finally asked, is there someone else? She looked at me like I'd accused her of murder. Don't be paranoid, she said flatly. You're my husband, not my warden. It stung, but I let it go. I didn't want to be the jealous guy, the one who jumps to conclusions. But the space between us kept growing, and it started to feel like we were roommates more than anything else. Then, on a random Friday morning while I was grabbing coffee and getting ready for the day, she dropped it. I think we should take a break. I turned, slowly. From the marriage? Yeah, she said, casual like she was suggesting we try a new restaurant. I just need space. Don't ask a million questions. This is about me, not you. I stood there, holding my mug, not even sure what to say. It wasn't like we'd had a huge fight. No screaming, no slammed doors. Just this slow unraveling, and now this. I nodded, more to myself than her. Something in me clicked right then. All right, I said evenly. Just return the Amex before you leave. Her brows pulled together. What? What? Because you want space, and freedom comes with your own wallet. She stared at me, stunned. I'm still your wife. And I'm not your bank. She didn't argue. She just grabbed her tote, slung it over her shoulder, and left. 10 minutes later, I called the card company and canceled the account. 12 minutes after that, I got the text. Seriously? You canceled it? I had things to take care of. I replied, you're free now. Enjoy it. She didn't come home that night. Or the next. I slept on my side of the bed, stared at the empty space beside me, and told myself not to chase her. I wasn't going to beg for clarity she wasn't willing to give. I didn't tell anyone what happened. I didn't need opinions or sympathy. I needed time to think, really think, about what the hell just happened to us. You'd think after 4 years, something this big would come with warning signs, sirens, something loud. But instead, it was quiet. The kind of quiet that hums in your chest like an unanswered question. I wasn't angry. Not yet. But I was watching the illusion fade. She wanted space. So I gave it to her. With interest. 2 weeks went by. At first, the apartment felt like a museum of what used to be. Her coat still hanging on the hook, half-used shampoo in the shower, one of her earrings on the bathroom counter. I didn't touch any of it. I didn't throw a single thing out. It wasn't out of hope. I just didn't feel like cleaning up her exit. Instead, I focused on what I could control. I started cooking for myself again. Actual meals, not frozen garbage. I went back to the gym, not to transform or post about it, but because sweating out confusion was better than sitting in it. Then came the text. It was from Elena, one of Melissa's closer friends. We'd always gotten along in that polite, I'm friends with your wife kind of way. She wasn't someone who normally reached out to me. Hey, just so you know, she's been crashing at some guy's place. No name, no details, just a gut punch dressed as a favor. I stared at the screen, not surprised. Not angry, either. Somewhere deep down, I already knew. When Melissa asked for space, she wasn't planning to find herself. She was planning to replace me without saying it out loud. It was confirmation, not revelation. I didn't respond. To Elena. To Melissa. To anyone. Then, 23 days after she walked out, I got the voicemail. Her voice sounded small. Not dramatic. Just unsure. I messed up. Can we talk? I didn't call back. I didn't text. I just listened, then went back to what I was doing. A few days later, I heard a knock at the door. When I opened it, there she was. No makeup. Hoodie. Hair tied back like she hadn't tried to impress anyone for a while. Her eyes darted past me, like she expected the place to have changed. It hadn't. I've made a mistake, she said, standing awkwardly in the hallway. He wasn't who I thought. I thought I needed freedom, but I needed us. I didn't say anything right away. Just stepped back and walked toward the bedroom. When I returned, I was holding the duffel bag she'd left half-packed in the closet the day she left. This has your stuff, I said, handing it to her. You left the rest with your decisions. She blinked fast, like she wasn't expecting that answer. I was confused. Please. You weren't confused. I cut in, not unkindly. You were entitled. You wanted all the benefits of marriage, shared finances, emotional support, a place to land, without the effort. You got your break. Now I'm giving myself mine. She looked down at the bag like it was heavier than before, like it suddenly had weight. She didn't yell, didn't make a scene, just stood there, still processing that I wasn't going to invite her in, that I wasn't asking questions or trying to make sense of it all. I already had my answer. Whatever freedom she was chasing came with bills she thought I'd keep paying. And now, she was out of credit. She stood there for a long second. Then she reached out for my hand. I didn't move. I didn't pull away violently or react dramatically. I just didn't meet her halfway. I don't hate you, I said, my voice even. But I don't respect who you became. And I can't love someone I don't respect. Her lips parted like she wanted to argue, or maybe explain. But she didn't. She just nodded, barely, and took the duffel bag from my hand. She looked around the apartment like she was seeing it for the last time. Which she was. I'll regret this forever, she whispered. I exhaled slowly. I hope not. I hope you learn from it. And that was it. She left without slamming the door. Without one last dramatic plea. Just a quiet, heavy exit. The kind that says it's over because both people finally accepted what it had become. That night, I didn't wait for a follow-up text. None came. I didn't check her socials, didn't drink to distract myself, didn't call a friend to rehash it all. I made some tea, read a little, and went to bed. For the first time in weeks, the silence didn't feel like it was mocking me. It didn't ache. It just was. And I was okay with that. Weeks went by. The apartment felt more like mine again. The spaces she used to fill didn't echo anymore. They just settled. One day at the gym, I ran into an old friend I hadn't seen since before Melissa. We talked for a bit, laughed, caught up on life. She asked if I wanted to grab coffee sometime. I said yes. Not because I was trying to replace anything. I wasn't looking for revenge, or validation, or a rebound. Just connection. A genuine moment between two people, no expectations layered behind it. We met up the next afternoon. No pressure. No dramatics. Just conversation that didn't feel like I had to tiptoe around someone's moods. I don't know what it'll turn into. I'm not rushing to label anything. But I'm also not closed off. That's the thing Melissa never understood. Real freedom doesn't come from running away. It comes from knowing who you are without needing someone else to carry the weight for you. She still watches my stories sometimes. Likes old posts. I see her name now and then in the notifications, but I never respond. Not out of spite. I just don't see the point. We both got what we asked for. She wanted independence. And I got something better. Peace.